واو منش نشوف فيكم ماذا بين راكم مش عاوز الضوء عليا نحب الضوء عليكم انتم لا بريزونطاسيون est là press play okay there we go there I am je vais parler en anglais أكثريتها I know you're lycée pilote donc you understand English right actually you master the language yes you actually inspire me. All of you inspire me. And all the speakers who came before me inspire me. And the person who did gymnastics, she reminded me of when I was in Lycée Khaznadar doing gymnastics myself. That inspires me. So it doesn't take much for me to be inspired. I find something to inspire myself every day. So when I was talking to Giselle, she told me that you guys are perfectionists. Of course. Lycée pilote, perfectionist. So, but she also told me, and everybody who's here at TED, of course, you're perfectionists. What am I talking about? But she also said you want to be able to have a dream and find the way to realize your dream. Find the ways to realize your dream. So I created a combination of different things to talk to you about how to realize your dream in spite of being a perfectionist. I'm a recovering perfectionist. Okay? So, you know these people, or you know of these people, right? Right? So these people are, that's Alisa, by the way. Okay? Do you know this person? This person you don't know. I find babies and children in general very inspiring. I find them very inspiring, and I'm going to tell you why they have this ability to just inspire us. We see a baby and we go like, oh. And it happens very naturally. We don't need to make any effort to do that. It's just like they inspire us naturally. So we're going to talk about why babies or kids inspire us. That's the son of my cousin, so, and he's about 16 months old. And this could be you. This is you. And in your future, you're going to create things to inspire. Okay? So what do these people have in common? What do they have in common? Okay? Basically, they follow their heart. They follow their heart. And they dare to take an initiative. They dare to take the first step. They dare to innovate. Okay? Donc, why people rarely take the initiative? Why people rarely dare to start something, to take a risk? By the way, that's a picture of a friend of mine. He's Tunisian. And that's in the waters in Tunisia. And he is with those sharks in Tunisia. And he inspires me. I love that picture. Quite awesome, huh? In the deep seas, practically breathing very little, and surrounded by sharks. So why people rarely take the initiative? It's because of fear. And fear is very paralyzing. Fear has the ability to make us stop in our tracks and not move forward. Why? Why do you think that is? Because we're afraid of judgment, and mostly we are afraid of failure. Okay? It has been shown that men are most afraid of failure, and women are most afraid of shame after failure, إيش بش يقولوا علينا الناس؟ إيش بش يحكيوا علي الناس؟ إيش بش يقولوا علي الناس? So that's the burden of women everywhere in the world. And the burden of men is, I shouldn't fail. I'm a man. I shouldn't fail. Okay? So we're gonna see why that comes about. So let's talk about being a perfectionist. We go back to the baby. If you have noticed a child that's like 18 months old, 2 years old, they walk into a room and they just stand there. They practically do nothing. They're just there. What are they doing? They're taking information. They're collecting information from the environment. Okay? They're being grounded in reality. And after they take all the information they need, then they act. Then they go to the person they feel most comfortable with, and they cling to them or they sit next to them. I've seen this in conferences that I had where women bring their children or parents bring their children, and they walk into that room and they take the space. Okay? Well, the parents try to tell us not to do that. How do they do that? It's a natural instinct, but we become programmed not to follow it. How? تبوس خالتك. تيجي سلم على تتا. تبوس مامتك. وهكا ما تسلمش على عبيد. تي. And then, pretty soon, that little child no longer has the freedom to be. And that's how slowly we become programmed not to trust our own instinct. It is natural to dream. It is natural to take risks. It's natural to dare. It's natural to explore. But we become programmed by parents, by society, by school, by the entire environment. And it is designed to have us conform to certain rules, okay? Which are not necessarily natural to us. And that's how come the little child stops being powerful, stops trusting himself or herself, and they start trying to do the right thing. Okay? And a lot of you are perfectionists, as we said. You're in lycée pilote, so you have been programmed to become a super achiever. It's about results, about the grades, it's about math, physique, homework, this, did you do that, did you do this? And it's like, so your natural talent to inspire and be inspired and be your gorgeous self, you become a human doing instead of a human being. And as a human being, that's where you have all your power. That's where you have your creativity. That's where you have your gold. Okay? So instead of aspiring to inspire, you aspire to perspire. Sweating, running around. And it becomes all about the results, and it becomes all about doing. And you lose touch with your natural ability to create and innovate. I know you guys haven't lost that because you created this event. So give yourselves a hand. The good news is that it never completely dies. It's always there because it's a natural ability. So the natural tendency, if we suppress something natural, it's be like trying to push a ball or a balloon underwater. Its natural ability is to emerge and to surface. And that's your natural ability. So I'm here to show you how to just get rid of those things that are not you, that have been programmed into you, and to free yourself up. So as we see here, when you're trying to be a perfectionist and you don't allow yourself to mess up, then you lose your ability to be. Just be. I have to be perfect. Well, if you have to be perfect, you're not being. If you don't have to be perfect, then you can be inspiring, you can be gorgeous, you can be creative, you can be intelligent, you can be anything else and everything else, including being perfect, which doesn't exist by the way. Your perfection is in discovering your own self, mastering your own talents, and accepting that as perfect as is. That's, to me, what became the definition of perfection. You are perfection as you are. So your job is to discover your own gifts, your own gold, your own treasures. Okay? So if you are not being free, then you cannot create. And if you can't create, then you can't take a risk. And usually people, when they can't create and they can't take a risk, then they start slowly giving up on their dreams. والله يلا غالب. يلا غالب عندنا برشا دروس وعندي دفوارات وحتى يفاو لي زيكزامان في الصيف بتاتر توا نتلهى بالفازة ديكا ولا. So we give lots of reasons and excuses and justifications for why we're not following our dreams. And it's great that you're doing this now, because I train adults, I train people in companies who are managers, who are leaders of companies, who are CEOs, who are branch managers and regional directors, etc., etc. And they suffer from this. Their dreams have been put way back in the back burner, that now they have other excuses like, well, I'm too old. سيئة احنا لا غالب فات فينا الفوت. هاكا الصغار معناتها they will take over. Okay? Well, I don't want that to happen to you. I have a youth association and I want to train them to have these abilities so that they continuously create dreams, dream and realize their dreams. Okay? So let's go to why things happen that way. When you're programmed, you establish neuronal connections in your brain that fire up automatically, and without you, it's kind of like you lose control over it. It becomes on automatic. You run on automatic. And those systems are put in place to execute by habit. So you have really great habits, but you also have habits that stop you from being creative, from taking risks, from taking the initiative, from daring, from X, Y, Z, all of that stuff. Okay? Now, how do we change that? First of all, you have to be aware that this is happening. We operate, 20% of our actions are managed by our conscious mind, but 80% are managed by our subconscious mind. So when you become aware that a lot of my behavior and a lot of my action is not conscious, then you can begin to build a bridge between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. And then you begin to take the initiative to change certain habits. Why do I do this all the time? Before the exam, I panic and I don't eat and I stop drinking water and, I stay up all night and then I do this and I do that and I do that. Why? Okay, well, because it's a habit. And you can change it. And we don't change these patterns by saying, okay, I'm going to take a seminar and change myself. No, you actually begin by noticing and stopping yourself in the middle. Okay? I panic and I stop eating. Okay, so I'm going to take a pause here, go outside, take a deep breath, smell the jasmine, smell the roses. So I interrupted the circuitry and I established a new circuitry. By the way, medically speaking and scientifically speaking, if you close your eyes and follow your breath for 1 minute, 60 seconds, you readjust the whole system in your body. You readjust your, you actually neutralize your fear. You're no longer afraid, you're no longer in a panicky mode, okay? And you can get yourself back to neutral. Follow your breath and keep a monotonous way of breathing, and that flips you over from the negative vibration of fear to at least a neutral state. And when you're there, then you can decide what to do. If you are in fear, you're not able to access all of your brain capacity. So if something, you're trying to read it and you're panicky or stressed out, etc., then you can't understand it fast. So when you breathe, you bring yourself back to neutral, then you have access to the rest of your brain. And then you can understand it in 15 minutes instead of 2 hours. Very simple, but it works. Okay, so now that we knew, that we found out what is the culprit, why people don't dare, why people don't move forward with their passions and ideas and creativity and dreams, etc. Now let's find out how to realize them. Because it's not enough to just have the dream, you have to actually start implementing it, start taking actions on it. Okay? And this is a difficult part. Okay? So, how to follow through. Basically, we're going to find out the formula for success. Okay? And I teach this in the leadership training. And there are 7 steps or 7 phases or 7 not methods really, like levels that any initiative will go through. It's the natural stages of things, how things naturally work. And being aware of these 7 stages will allow you to manage and to go through the surfing wave, to follow the wave from inception to the realization. Okay? So, I will talk about the 7 phases, but first of all, let me talk about the second thing that's very important. You need to surround yourself by people who believe what you believe. Don't talk to people who basically their job is to tell you, no, that's not possible. It's not possible here. Maybe in America it's possible. But in Tunisia, no. So you need to avoid being around people like that. Or at least they shouldn't be the ones that you allow to influence your mind. You need to create a mastermind. You need to create a network of people who believe what you believe. And they exist. The innovators, the ones who will buy into your idea, they basically represent 3% of humanity. So if you didn't find them at the beginning, you just need to keep looking. It doesn't mean your idea is wrong. It doesn't mean that it's not possible in Tunisia. It just means you didn't find the right 3%. It probably means you met with the 16% who are always a no to any innovation. So you go, oh, you're part of that group, okay, great. I'll move on to find the other person who will be supporting me in my ideas. Okay, so surround yourself with people who believe what you believe. And those people usually are, they don't have to be your age. They could be some of the speakers. You can send them a message on Facebook, get some encouragement. Even if they don't reply, the fact that you know that you have this person in existence in the world will inspire you to take the next step in your initiative. Okay? So they don't, sometimes it's just enough to connect with the energy of those people. And it's extremely important. And then you have allies in your groups, your friends. You go to school with a lot of people who are a lot like you. Not all of them, because you guys are competitive, I know. But at least there will be one person or two. And that's plenty. Okay, so let's go over these 7 phases. I'm going to go over the first 4 because 7 is too much. So we'll start from the beginning. When you have the idea, that phase is about creativity. It has 0 relationship with reality. That means you don't need to judge yourself and say, but it's difficult, or it's impossible, or it will take so much time, or maybe it'll be realized after I die, etc. You don't need to worry about that in the first phase. In the first phase, you're just creating, and you're free, you're joyful, you're happy, you're going, wow, I'm going to create this. And all the work that you do and the conversations you have will be about creating the dream. Literally, you need to go to dreamland in phase 1. 0 relationship to reality. And you should have the freedom to do that. You know that when they created cell phones, the idea came about when there was nothing remotely looking like a cell phone. It was in a big meeting or like a weekend or a brainstorming session with AT&T Bell Labs. And they went away for a weekend of brainstorming, and they were thinking, it was like, okay, well, people, when they talk on the phone, they have to be next to the phone because there is that cord, etc., etc. So how can we create a phone that people can walk around in their house and talk on the phone? So it started from ideas like that. And they gave themselves the freedom to innovate. And that's what you should do. Give yourself the space, the freedom, the joy, the happiness, the love of creativity. Then you start with phase 2. That's that picture there. I don't know if there is a pointer. That's the imagining the tree there. But then the second phase, now you're going to start talking about your idea. Your idea only exists in words and in your head. And you're going to start talking to people about it or expressing it. And then you're going to meet some reality. And then you're going to get the naysayers, the people who say, Tile, peut-être, نعرف. They won't give you like, yes! Go for it, I'm with you. قل لي شو نعمل. So then you start basically becoming an expert at expressing your thoughts. Now your ability to communicate becomes extremely important. You're going to formulate your idea, your dream, in a few words that will impact this audience. And then you'll say it differently for this audience. And then you say it differently for the other audience. You have technical difficulties. Okay. So, slowly you develop your message in so many different ways. And this is true also for people who want to find a job. They will express themselves. They will talk about their experience, their qualities, the things that they know to do, how they can be an added value to the company, etc. It's the same process. They will learn how to create their, what we call the elevator pitch. In 30 seconds, they can express themselves in so many different ways that will give the audience the ability to understand what they're saying and the opportunity to help them and be with them. Okay? And then we come to the third phase, and this is the important phase. This is the phase of failure. We have to go through this phase. This phase of, okay, I'm going to make an effort, then another effort, then another effort, then 10 efforts, and the result is 0 or like very, very minimal. The reality occurs harsh, like a slap in the face. What was I thinking? Coming up with such an idea. But it's part of the phases that any idea, any initiative will go through, and it's phase 3 from 7. So when you get to the failure, or when something doesn't work out, you should go, yes! I am in phase 3 now. And all you have to do is a very powerful relationship to your emotions, your self-confidence, vis-a-vis failure. All the meaning we give to it, all the social implications. البقرة الطايحة تكثر سكاكينها. Whatever, all kinds of different sayings that the people have. And you need to go through those things step by step, step by step, step by step, until you're building your confidence from the inside. When I came back from the US, I came back after being in the US for 20 years. I studied engineering, and I worked as an IT person for 14 years. And I started coaching in '97. So I did so many things, and I had a house and a car and traveled 45 states, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I came back to Tunis, and I didn't fit into the image of what it is to be a successful person who was abroad. يلزمك تجيب الكرهبة لفساخ. Whatever. There was a list of conditions that didn't apply to me, and I didn't think it was important. But the society or the entourage judged me about those accomplishments. But I was very clear, thank God I did all of this training before. So I basically decided that I could keep going. I understood how to deal with the environment. And I'm going to show you one image, okay? And this is the image I would like to show you. You need to celebrate your victories, and you need to find the gold in everything. Find the golden path. Okay? That's the gold and how it grows inside of quartz. That's the water. The water is unstoppable. And as you persevere and you continue past those challenges, okay, the water always finds its path. So I want you to be like water. Always find your path and be unstoppable, and that takes you to phase 4, which is success. Thank you.